Ave Maria, this is Father Angelo for Standing Fast, a weekly commentary on Catholic life in the public square. Leon Podles wrote a book some years ago called The Church Impotent, which is a play on, of course, the Church Militant. We're supposed to be the Church Militant, but oftentimes, in reality, we're the Church Impotent because we've lost our evangelical spirit. And it's something that it's vital for us to recapture. I was reflecting on Mary Victrix some weeks ago on the closing of churches in various places. Actually, it happened during Holy Week, and there was a website that was listing some of the churches that were for sale in a certain diocese, and it said, celebrate Holy Week in a new way, buy a church. And then I was looking around on the internet, and I was seeing how some of the churches that have been bought, not just in the United States, but also in Europe, that have been sold, have been turned into bars and restaurants, garden shows, and apartment buildings. And of course, you have the sort of ecclesiastical architecture that becomes sort of the motif for these various types of establishments. And it's just so indicative of the time in which we live. Especially in the United States, where we were building churches and schools and religious communities for years and years and years. And these establishments have been turned over to secularists. Religious communities have gone from religious communities to retreat houses to, Buddhist communes. And it's a very sad cultural commentary on the state of affairs, not just in the United States, but across the world. I also was looking at the time on the internet at some of the old churches that had been built in the Middle Ages, where society was chaotic and feudal very often, and sometimes churches had to be fortified as fortresses. And while that image may not be something that we can recreate exactly in the world today, we have to realize that we are living in very dangerous times, and our enemy is not flesh and blood, but the principalities and powers of this world, of the world of darkness. And we can't just roll over and play dead in the face of the opposition that comes our way. And nobody is attracted to the Church Impotent. They're only attracted to the Church Militant. If we as followers of Christ don't believe enough in our faith to fight for it, then nobody else is going to believe either. We're not going to convert anyone either. And I'm not saying that we have to go out and pound people over the head, but at least as Catholics, we have to believe what the Church teaches. So often we're more worried about what other people are going to think about us, and so worried about couching our words and explaining our faith in a way that's going to be palatable to people who don't believe anything, that we end up not believing ourselves. For example, just attendance at Sunday Mass, or the way people go up to receive communion. You wonder whether people actually believe in the real presence of our Lord in the Blessed Sacrament. And if we don't believe in the real presence of our Lord in the Blessed Sacrament, then there is no reason for us to be Catholic. If we have no reverence for our Lord in the Eucharist, our faith must be very weak. And if our faith is weak, then our evangelical spirit is going to be impotent, and the Church is going to get nowhere. So we need to restore our love and our adoration of our Lord in the Blessed Sacrament and beg Him on bended knee to be His knights and soldiers in this world, and to recapture the evangelical spirit. And when in our churches or our dioceses or in our schools or in our newspapers, be they the secular newspapers or the Catholic newspapers, we see things going around us that are not right, we should do something about it. Make a resolution to write a letter to the editor the next time you see something crazy going on in your neighborhood or in the newspaper that you read. Do something. We all need to do something. We need to pray to God for a restoration of the evangelical spirit, so that we will really and truly be what we should be, which is the Church Militant. So until next time, this is Father Angelo for Standing Fast. God bless you, and Ave Maria.